Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this review, I'm beyond excited to show you guys the 2024 Elantra facelift. I'm going to show you all the various different changes, show you around the vehicle, take you on a short test drive, and give you guys my final verdict. But let's go ahead and get into this review. You know what? I'm going to do remote start this time. Lock the doors, pull down the key fob. Lock the doors. Let's see. There we go, now we got it. But let's go ahead and get into this review. Let's go. Looking on the outside of the 2024 Elantra, this is your key fob right here, very Iron 6 in its design. You have lock, unlock, a remote start function, as well as a panic button, and a trunk release is right here on the side of the key fob. Now, as equipped, this vehicle is $28,000, $840. It is dressed in a Serenity White exterior for $450. Now, this generation did debut for 21, and for 24 model year, it is getting a facelift, so you can see a little bit more of a angular and aggressive front end design. You got full LED lighting, so your LED turn signals and daytime run lights are up top, as well as your LED low beams and high beams right there. This does also have the addition of a 360 camera for this year, which I have to say is a nice touch and addition. I am definitely liking the front end design, a lot more angular and aggressive. For this limited package, you do have a 17-inch aero style wheel wrapped in 225 width tires. Overall dimensions haven't changed for this model year, as this is a facelift. Also new is a blind spot view camera mirror right there, which I will show you guys on the interior. You do have LED turn signals on the side with blind spot information and keyless entry for the front door handles. Up top, you'll find a moonroof. And this is your window sticker right here, $28,880. I will put all the information in the description below. Gas tank is on the driver's side. Now, coming around to the rear of the Elantra, you can see the only change back here is the rear diffuser, which has a little bit more of the black plastic. And to be honest, I really don't care for it that much. I like the pre-facelift a little bit better in the back. Get a 3/4 rear view for you guys right there. You have LED tail lights with the LED brake lights. Halogen turn signals and halogen reverse lights are right down below. Trunk release is right here under the Hyundai logo. Now, opening the trunk, you'll find 14.2 cubic feet of space. The seats do fold down in a 60-40 fashion. You have the cargo release right there on both sides to fold down these seats. Rear view right there for you guys. I still don't like that back though. We'll show you guys under the hood. All engines are carried over for the 24 model year, including the full-blown N version, the N line, as well as the hybrid, and then this base engine offering right here. Prop rod, boom. But under the hood of this limited version, you'll find a 2-liter 4-cylinder connected with an intelligent variable transmission, makes 147 horsepower with 132 pound-foot of torque. You'll get 31 in the city, 40 on the highway, and 34 combined. Vehicle weight is 2,725 pounds, as this one is equipped. Now let me show you guys the interior, but before I do, let me get a 3/4 front view for you guys. Boom. We're gonna start out in the back seats. Now, back seat dimensions haven't changed from the 23 model year. I still have about 5 inches of legroom when I have the seat just for my frame. And as far as headroom goes, I have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of headroom. What you do notice is new for the 24 model year is 2 USB-C ports in the back. Map pocket storage right there. And then your center console right there. But that's the biggest change back here, is these 2 charging ports in the back. Here's a quick look to the cockpit. But let's hit the driver's seat where all the action happens. This being the limited trim, you do have power seats with a 2-way lumbar support, power back, bottom, and then your window and door controls are over here. Manual tilt telescoping steering wheel, cluster illumination, as well as traction. You can see the perforated leather seats. or in Hyundai terms, it's a H-Tex. But looking inside of the interior, you do have a dual 10.25-inch cluster setup with your cluster up front, as well as your touchscreen over here. New for 24 is the blind spot view monitor right there. Brighten that up so you guys can see the full view. So you can see right there the camera's on. It'll show you blind spot on the right and your left over here. But everything else is about the same as before, so you can toggle through your various different information, speed, your MPGs, navigation settings, as well as the tire pressure monitors right there. And over here down on the steering wheel, you'd have your radio controls on this side, with your driver assist controls over here on this side right here for adaptive cruise control, as well as steering assist, which now has haptic feedback for the 24 model year, which we will try on the road. Looking a little bit more over here at your infotainment, this is also a 10.25-inch display. You do have Apple CarPlay, so I do want to start out with a quick audio test. It has a 8-speaker Bose sound system, so let's try it out. As you can see, the 8-speaker Bose sound system has a lot of bass and sound quality, and I have to say it definitely is better than the lower end models, which does have a 6-speaker sound system. Now keep in mind the CarPlay, which I was hoping was wireless for CarPlay and Android Auto, you still have to wire up down below right there with the USB-A port. But look a little bit more at the infotainment. You still have a embedded navigation right there, so let's try a navigation test. The feedback and response of this infotainment is just crazy, and you can see right there navigation loads up with no problem at all. Very easy to use, and it's a nice backup to your phone if it's dead for some reason. Phone projections right there is for your CarPlay and Android Auto. Voice memos, climate settings, you have your valet mode, quiet mode right there, your radio data for your traffic information, as well as the Doppler radar and fuel pricing. Radio is right there. It does have AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, which can be rewinded. And you can change your sound settings right here under that page. And you also have voice prompts right there. Media functions, your setups right there. So let me show you guys a little bit more about the setups. Go into vehicle, you can configure and change all of your driver assist technology. Under the setting for your speed limit, driving safety right there. For lane keeping assist, rear cross traffic with braking, both front and rear. And then your cluster settings are further down below. So you can actually change the cluster right here in front of you. I'm gonna put on a cube mode right there. Let me show you guys how it changes. Boom, it looks so much more futuristic in this mode right there. You can also put on your welcome sound, content settings, climate control functions right there. And you do also have lights. Now this being limited package, you do have multicolor ambient lighting on this front strip across the front of the dash, which looks so cool from there, spanning all the way down to there. So right now we have a max brightness. Now it is sunny outside, so I'm sure you probably wouldn't be able to see it that well, but let me see if I can show you guys some of the colors. So right now it's on a red. I'm gonna go yellow, blue, and you can basically change between all these various different colors right here. 64 individual colors. Door controls are right there. You do also have smart trunk, stand behind the vehicle for 3 seconds and it'll open up automatically. Digital key. Sound settings right there. You can also configure the screen layout and configure a button right there for your favorite button down below. So this button right here, the start button, you can actually configure that to be any one of these different screen settings right there. And you have some shortcut physical buttons in case you want to get to a specific menu. You do have a dual zone climate control with this fully loaded package as well, with 3-stage heated front seats, window defrost, and then even further down below you do have a 12-volt charger right there. USB-C port, that's just for charging, and then you have a USB-A port for charging and connectivity into the infotainment. Even further down below you do have a wireless charging pad, so let's try that out. Oh, heated seats on, we don't want to get hot. Boom, there we go. Phone's charging up, no problem at all. You can actually put 2 phones on here as well. You have a little divider right there. And I do like how they revised the wireless charging pad. Further down below, you do have your drive modes. So you can toggle between a sport, smart, and a normal mode, which is your default mode. Smart is more adaptive, so it'll go based on throttle inputs. And then your camera button is right there, right behind the drive mode selector. And new for 24 is the 360 camera, so you do have a lot of views, angles. You have trajectory lines right there. And you can use this button right here or toggle through on the screen to do a full 360 view around the Elantra. And they actually got the wheels right too in the little picture, which is cool. Parking sensors for the rear. You have a parking brake right there, which is electronic, a auto hold function. And this is your gear shift, so you put it into reverse. And you got your backup camera, 360 camera over there. Neutral drive, and you have a sport over there on that side. You can also go through the various different gears. If I have it in drive and I put on the camera button, it'll pull up the front view camera when you are driving. You do have 2 cup holders right here, which are a pretty good size, and then a center console as well down below. A little bit of illumination up top, and you do have moonroof controls right there. Use this button right there to tilt and slide open the moonroof. You can also tilt it right there when you do push in the middle. But let's go and take the Elantra for a drive and see some of these changes for 2024. We are behind the wheel of the 2024 Elantra Limited. Now, it is actually a different day as the vehicle hadn't been PDI'd yet, so I had to wait a day or two. But now that it's PDI'd, let's go ahead and set off. We are in smart mode, which is adaptive, so it is dependent upon the accelerator. Depending on how much throttle input you give it, it'll switch over from sport or normal mode. Speaking of visibility out the front, rear, and sides, it is very good. I can see over the hood, as well as out the side mirrors and even out the back. Now, the biggest change for 2024 is a little bit more technology with this new Elantra. And the first thing you notice is the side view camera mirrors when you put on the turn signal, which I have to say looks cool. I like this right here. Adopted from the Sonata. Really does help out with your blind spots when driving around. Also new for 24 is the inclusion of rear USB-C ports, as well as airbags on the side, rear occupant alert, and the 360 camera. Now, this version right here is rated to get 31 in the city, 40 on the highway, and 34 combined. You do have various different engine options that you can get, as well as a hybrid version. You have a little bit more of a sportier inline, which has the 1.6 turbo with 201 horsepower. And then you have the full-blown Elantra N, which has 286 horsepower. What I also like too with this Elantra Limited is that it does have ambient lighting. So right across the front of the dash, you get customizable lighting, which you can configure inside of the screen under vehicle settings, which did show you guys in the Walkaround under lights. You can also configure and change your cluster theme right there. So I can put it into a cube display, which I have to say looks a lot more futuristic. This is probably how I have my screen layout set up right here, where I have my lane information and then the cube setup on both sides. You can also leave it linked to your drive modes right there. The intelligent variable transmission will change the gear ratios to keep you in the meat of the power band when you are driving around more spiritually or economical. me show you the 360 camera while we sit here waiting for the construction guy. So you have all your various different views right there, and you can go in a full 3D mode right there, so you can get a full view around the Elantra. It also does pick up traffic sign information right here in your screen in front of you. And it's 10.25-inch cluster. Definitely a rough one right there. Now, doing try a quick acceleration. Now, Hyundai claims a 8.1 second acceleration. So let's try that out real quick. Nobody's behind us. And there's 60 miles an hour. So when you do put it into its sport mode, the cluster will change themes to a more red and sportier display. And you can also put it into a sport transmission mode right here on the center console. But I like the themes, the way it changes when you can go into sport mode versus regular normal mode. I'll show you guys right there. The graphics are just amazing. Normal, sport, and smart mode. And like I stated before, smart mode is probably my favorite mode because it's adaptive and it'll change on the fly, all based on your throttle inputs. Let's go ahead and hit the main road. While we sit in traffic, I want to go ahead and try out the driver assist technology. Now for 2024, Honda did include a steer assist, which actually does have vibration feedback in the steering wheel. So if I activate it, and let's see, we veer over. You see right there, also pull you back in your lane, which was standard as before, but now you'll get a little bit more of the feedback in your wheel when you do go over the lane. Let's try the adaptive cruise control. So you have up to 4 following distances and go all the way down to 1. You see the information right here on the top of the display. And you can adjust your speed right here on this side. It's using the camera up top to follow the traffic in front of it. I'd say it's very accurate picking up traffic signs around here in your area. It's very accurate. But the adaptive cruise works great. Now you do also have automatic emergency braking, blind spot information, which will glow red or illuminate inside of both mirrors, as well as lane keeping assist. But this camera mirror, that's probably my favorite feature. That and the 360 camera. And when you also look at the key fob as well, it has the new ionic design. You guys can see that right there. It has the ionic design. Looks so cool. Now, as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, I want to get into the conclusion of what I think about this 2024 Elantra. Now, I have to tell you guys right off the back, the changes are definitely welcomed. Let me just do a small acceleration for you guys. And there's 60 right there. This is definitely more than enough power on a daily basis. You definitely do have a little bit more miles per gallon than acceleration, which honestly I have to say is not a bad trade-off when you're looking in a segment like this. Definitely is welcome. Now, this is ready to get about 40 mpg on the highway, and you can easily achieve that when you're in its eco settings, the smart mode, and you really just let it coast a lot. You can definitely get the mpgs. But what I really like is the technology, the 360 camera right there, the graphics, the screen graphics, everything is just top notch. And at 28,000 and change, it is right in line with these segments. Now, the 24 Elantra does start at just under $23,000 for a base SE trim. You also have a SEL, and I highly recommend getting the SEL with the convenience package, so you get the heated seats and a couple other amenities like the adaptive cruise control and some other functions as well. But this limited package basically has it all, and if you're looking for a more spicier Elantra, they have the inline, they have the N, so they definitely have the needs covered. Plus, you get the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty when you buy it new, and a 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary maintenance service. So you do have a lot of the perks and incentives when you go for the Elantra or any Hyundai versus other competitors in the segment. But that's all I really have to say about the 24 Elantra. Definitely do love the tech. The ambient lighting is cool, and the graphics, everything is right there that you need on a daily basis. But this is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Look at those graphics right there. Wow. Peace.